I've never experienced a ghost.
Okay, so that whole set of reactions, typically referred to as a fight or flight reaction, right? And so do you guys actually experience this when you're going through a horror experience?
For me, not so much, because at the very beginning of a horror movie, I just constantly remind myself that it's not real.
That's no fun.
Yeah, I'm a horrible horror movie watcher. Like, I'm the kind of person who goes like, you know, when we're having class outings, I'll be like, hey, let's watch a horror movie. And everyone's like, don't want. Then I'll be like, you guys suck, kind of thing. And then when we actually go to watch it, I'll be the first one to cover my eyes. No, not cover my eyes. I'll just close my eyes so people don't know that I'm actually not watching it. And then afterwards, I'll be like, it's not scary, what? That kind of thing.
Okay.
So everyone thinks like, hey, you're so brave, stuff like that. But I'm like, actually...
You're like, sure, yeah.
And they ask me what happened in the movie, then I'm like, oh, you know, that thing.
I don't know, it was so boring, you know, I couldn't even tell.
Yeah, I won't be able to tell the synopsis of it because I actually have no idea what happened because most of the time I wasn't watching it.
Okay. So are there things that you guys still have a standard fight or flight reaction to in everyday life? Because it seems to me that as we've developed as a sort of society, as humanity, we are systematically getting rid of situations where you would need to get that reaction. And so, A, do you still have that reaction frequently? And B, do you think it's good that we're getting rid of it?
It happens to me when I'm doing sports. Not necessarily fear. I mean, of course it helps because it helps me perform better. But I don't think it's a good thing that we're getting rid of it because it's not just a reaction to predators per se, but a reaction to, let's say, robbers as well. And there's still people like that, bad people around.
Which I have an experience. I have many experiences because I stay back in school quite late. And I sometimes at 10:30, 11, I have to walk through botanic gardens on my own. And it's dark and it just generally elicits a creepy feeling inside you. And
the dragonflies.
Yes, and there's this, I'm not sure whether it's fight or flight response, but you just naturally walk faster. I mean, everybody does that, right? Because I'm afraid that robbers might
those trees are haunted.
Robbers.
Botanic Gardens is haunted. Seriously. I mean, I heard that from somewhere, but I don't really know what's lurking about.
You know what it is? Amygdala.
You know, there's actually a group of people. It's genetic that people seek sensations. It's a character trait that people have. It's called sensation seeking. The reason why they're like that is because they're more sensitive to this neurotransmitter called dopamine, which is actually the reason why people get addicted to sex and drugs and food. So
some people would actually argue that you don't like food or sex or drugs or anything like that. The only thing that you actually like as a human is dopamine. You just look for ways to elicit the response.
Oh, I forgot to point out. Did you realize that in Firefly, they removed River's amygdala?
Wait, they removed her amygdala?
Yeah, they did. And then Simon goes like, because they removed her amygdala, she feels all her emotions at once, which is actually not true. Because once you remove the amygdala, you can't sense fear anymore. And there are actually people who have damaged amygdalas, and they don't feel fear, and they don't sense threats. It's abstract for them.
So they're walking through the woods and like, oh, a bear.
Yeah, they would actually go, people without amygdalas actually go towards what people are scared of, whereas a normal person would go away from it.
You know, that's something that always scares me when I'm like by a very high balcony or something like that. It's not that I've ever had a desire to jump off of a balcony, but I've always had that sort of like sinking suspicion. If I go and stand over there, am I going to get curious about what flying and falling is like? Is today going to be the day? You know, like, so I just imagine somebody who's got a damaged amygdala walking up to a balcony and being like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it today.
Maybe you have a damaged amygdala.
Maybe I do. You know, I've always felt like I was lacking in something in my head. So.
I always thought I had a damaged amygdala as well. Because
we're all hypochondriacs. This is great.
You know, because, you know, like how your friends try to scare you sometimes. And I never get scared. And I don't know whether it's because I'm brave or it's because it takes a while to process the fact that they're trying to scare me.
So you just have the Keanu Reeves reaction where you're just like, whoa.
Yeah. It's not fun because I want to be scared. But like
challenge accepted.
So that you can experience the adrenaline rush.
Geek Cred fans, we will bring you the the amygdala rush. Right, so I've been reading a lot about this this topic lately, in specifically how fight or flight reactions influence childhood development. And so it turns out that a lot of children that grow up in threatening environments or even non-comfortable environments, they have this reaction and this response over and over again, just through daily life. So, you know, as you consider whether or not you're going to have enough food before you go to bed and you just go to bed hungry, or if your parents aren't loving enough or the opposite of loving and things like that. And so essentially they have this response happen too frequently as they're developing, and then it actually changes the way that their brains develop, and it changes the way that they learn and their soft skills in general. And so just a public service announcement for everyone listening: don't make your younger siblings watch horror movies a lot because you can definitely psychologically harm them.
One thing about the consciousness of imminent threat or danger, I've watched a documentary today, and it suggests that there are two routes of which visual information could reach the brain. One is the conscious route. Information is passed by the optic nerve to the back of the brain, the primary visual cortex.
Visual cortex.
If it's something scary, information gets passed on to the amygdala. This is a very slow route because you have to be aware that you've seen a snake, and the snake is indeed there. But what the documentary said is that experiments have been done to show the unconscious route of information transmission. So what the participants were shown were like extremely quick flashes of scary things, like pictures of snake. But it's shown at a rate of 1/30th of a second. So your eyes cannot really register what is there. Mm-hmm. But when they were shown these flashes of images, their amygdala fired up. That will increase blood flow. So the brain actually registers the very fast images. So it's a subconscious thing. Even though you don't know that the threat is there, your brain knows it. And it elicits some kind of fight or flight response.
That is really cool.
Can I say something cool as well?
Yes.
Amygdala. No, I mean, if you guys are wondering where your amygdala is, you see, if an arrow shot through your eye, it would pass through your amygdala.
Which eye?
Both eyes, because they're a reflection of each other.
Oh.
The brain. It's at the back of your ear, through your eye.
Okay, that is a fun fact.
So if someone ever hits you with an arrow through your eye, if it hits your amygdala, there's something good that comes out of it because you lose fear. so if you're laying in the hospital bed with an arrow out of your eye,
and
think of these facts.
You'll be laying there and somebody will be like, don't be scared. And you'll be like, I can't.
So you don't even have to worry about it because you can't.
All right, guys, that's it for this week's episode of Geek Cred. We want to wish you a very warm and happy Halloween. We hope that you get the crap scared out of you so you can use your amygdalas. All right. So, yep, this is Zach signing off.
Kamina.
And Truly signing off.
We'll see you guys later.